Hi all, welcome to our tutorial on how to expose your local network to the internet using the Cloudflare tunnel. So by the end of this video, you will be able to securely access your local resources from anywhere in the world. So suppose I have an application running on the port 5000 of my local network. See, this is just a hello world application, which is a Node.js application. It can be anything. It can be a Golang server, or it can be an SSS server, or it can be anything like that. How can I expose this into the internet? For testing purposes, if I want to expose a particular port in the network, I can use the local tunnel, and there are several other packages like that. But for a more protection optimized or for a more secure way, we have to do something like the Cloudflare tunnel. So without wasting much time, let's jump right into the topic. So Cloudflare is actually a CDN, a content delivery network. You may be already familiar with that. So Cloudflare has something known as the tunnel. So basically, Cloudflare tunnel provides you with a secure way to connect your resources to Cloudflare without publicly routed IP addresses. So basically how it works is explained in this figure. So if you take a look, you can see that when a customer or your user enters your domain in his or her browser, or he sends a HTTP request, that first hits into the Cloudflare's network. So from there, the configuration is checked and the host names and tunnels are checked, and it's mapped into your server. So in your server or in your local computer, a Cloudflare daemon will be running. So, and that will handle the request. This is how it works. And in order to get it started, so there are some prerequisites. The first prerequisite is that you should have a domain for that. So in my case, I have a domain umjoshua.xyz. It's in GoDaddy, and I have to add that website to the Cloudflare. So let's add, and let's go to the dashboard. And click on add site and add my site into the Cloudflare dashboard. So it may take some time. So I have to select a plan. I'm proceeding with the free plan, which is more than enough for me for my personal projects. And after that, it will scan for the existing DNS records. And you can see that these DNS records are now managed by GoDaddy name service, but I have to change this into the Cloudflare. So you can check whether all the records are listed here, or if not, you can add it manually here. So I'm just clicking continue. Yes. Now I have to remove the GoDaddy's default name server from there, and I have to add Cloudflare's name service. So I can do that by change name service. I will use my own, and yes. And I can click on done, check name service. So meanwhile, we have to configure some security options to improve security. Yes, always HTTP rewrites, yes. Always use HTTPS, yes. Compression, yes. And here is a summary, and I click on finish. And it will take some time to reflect it on your Cloudflare account. Meanwhile, you can try clicking check name service. So let's pause the video until it gets reflects here. Okay, now as you can see, site is added to the Cloudflare, and it is now managed by the Cloudflare. Now we can go to the DNS and check records and check whether all the records are listed here. So now let's go back to the tutorial, and all the prerequisites are now satisfied. And now we have to do one thing. We have to install the Cloudflare in our system. So the steps to do the same in Windows, macOS and Linux is given here. I am using Arch Linux, and I can do the same by running this command. So yep, I can install it by the command. Yep, yes, it's installed in my system. Now we have to authenticate the Cloudflare page. So copy the command, run it, click on the domain and click on authorize. And as we can see now, the Cloudflare has been authorized and a certificate file has been added in this location. So we have to keep in mind this location. Okay, now we have to create a tunnel and we have to give it a name. So let's create a tunnel with an unique name. So I'm giving expose test 003. Yes, as we can see, a tunnel has been created with this ID and with this name. What we can do now is we can actually verify whether the tunnel has been created by doing this command. So this will list all the tunnels that has been created previously. So this is the tunnel we have created now, expose 003. And now we have to create a configuration file for the Cloudflare D. So in order to do that, we have to move to the Cloudflare D location. So by default, it is in home directory with .cloudflare as the directory name, and we have to create a configuration file. So we can create a config.yaml file and populate it with this command, copy and paste. Now, as you can see, we have to give the URL which we want to expose. We are trying to expose the localhost port 5000, so we can give 5000 here. Okay, and we have to give the tunnel ID here. So this is the tunnel we have created and this is the ID. We have to give it here, and we also have to give the location for the credentials file. So as you can see, the credentials file is tunnel credentials returned to this location. So we can copy this and we can paste it here. We can save the file, yes, and we can verify the configuration file. Yes, the contents are correct. And now we have to start routing traffic to the tunnel. So we can do the same by assigning a CNAME record that points traffic to our tunnel subdomain. So we can do it from the command line. So we can copy and paste this command. Yep, and we have to give the UUID of the tunnel. So it's this, and we have to replace this with the ID, and we have to give a subdomain name, a host name for the tunnel. So I'm giving test and just hit enter. Yep, this command added a CNAME test.dmjshore.xyz, that is, it added a subdomain with the name test to my domain, and it will route traffic to this tunnel. And as the last step, I can run the tunnel by using this command. Copy and paste. And this is the ID of the tunnel. Just hit enter. Yeah. As you can see, the tunnel is now. Now, how to verify this? To verify this, I can open a private browser and I can go to test.dmjshore.xyz. And let's see. Yep. Hello world testing is shown there. So where is this service hosted? So we can navigate back to our browser and see this is actually hosted in my localhost 5000. So this is how you can expose your local network into the internet. So as you can see, we have only exposed a particular port, but in this tutorial there is something for exposing the entire network. Okay, so you can do it by following this tutorial. So I will link this tutorial in the description. So this is from the official documentation of the Cloudflare. Thank you for watching. I hope this was useful. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. Thank you.